All right, moving on to the third game of the night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time game. We have the Minnesota Twins taking on the New York Yankees. The line for the Yankees opened up at minus 115. Right now, sitting at minus 255, so it definitely has moved a lot. Minnesota underdogs plus 205 for today's game. The Yankees are on a nice little 6 game winning streak, Abhishek. So
Yep.
this third game, Twins versus Yankees, who you got, man?
You're absolutely right. The Yankees are red hot. This is the best they've played the whole season. Obviously it's a long season, so they have saved their best for nearly the last. But low key Minnesota, last 10 games, 7-3. So Minnesota also don't sleep on them because
Oh,
they're also winning games. I understand their season's over. They're not gonna do shit this year. But if people may have forgotten, this Minnesota team made the playoffs the last 2 seasons. I want to say three, but I know they made it the last 2 seasons. Um, and they had high expectations this season. A lot of people and pundits or whatever analysts picked them to win the division or at least compete with the White Sox. Obviously, that has not happened. Injuries, players not playing up to standard. They traded away their best player, Nelson Cruz, to the Rays, but still, they were still a team that made the playoffs the last 2 seasons at least. But the Yankees have had their number. They're 11. I think the stat was that Minnesota's 11-40 in their last 51 games against the Yankees. That's insane. Um, like I mentioned, Minnesota. We'll get into them first here. They're the road team. They are playing better, 7-3 in the last 10. They did win 2 games against the Tampa Bay Rays, so you can take that for what it's worth at home. But it doesn't matter in my opinion because each game is its own entity because each game the starting pitcher changes. That's the biggest thing in baseball. I don't give a shit if you're 0-20. If your best pitcher's pitching and the other team's worst pitcher's pitching, you have a chance that day. So, but today, Minnesota, John Gant, they traded for him from St. Louis. He has been up and down. He's been okay as a reliever. Today, he's starting. I know Arun mentioned this line was minus 115 to start. That was because before the change happened, Kenta Maeda was going to start this game for Minnesota. And he has been their only pitcher that has actually been consistent for them. As soon as they changed him, he's pitching on Saturday now. As soon as they changed that, this line skyrocketed. And then it got to like minus 275 at one point. Now it's 255. Arun, if I'm not mistaken. I
yep,
think you can. The run line is minus 150, I think, minus 1.5. Um,
yep.
so yeah, there it is. Arun, thanks for the confirmation. But John Gant as a starter, 5.9 ERA. He has not been good starting. And yesterday Minnesota played a game against Cleveland. That game went into extra innings, and 7-8 game, crazy game. Minnesota ended up winning by 1 run, but their bullpen was used a lot. There were several players that pitched over 20 pitches in that game. I don't think they're going to be available today because of the load they carried yesterday. Their bullpen already isn't that good anyways. So their best pitchers already are gone that aren't even that good. So if John Gant is starting, I don't know how much he's going to even give you because he hasn't pitched that much anyways. And as a starter, he hasn't been good also. Now we get into the Yankees. Oh, man. I have not done well this year betting against the Yankees. I think I'm 1-3 against them this year so far in this show that we've been doing for the past nearly a month. Um, right now, what do you guys say? Yankees hottest team in baseball. It is what it is. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're 16-4 in their last 20. As Arun mentioned to start this off, 6 straight wins, and they're beating some good teams. They beat the Rays. They beat the Red Sox yesterday. They beat the White Sox. They're not. They beat Seattle. Their only like easy wins were against probably the Orioles, but they've taken care of business against some real quality teams. So now we get into the pitching matchup. I don't care what anyone says. I understand Garrett Cole. He has pedigree. He has a $300 million contract. If I was to start one game for the Yankees, do or die, game 7, right now, I'm starting the guy there that's pitching today for the Yankees. Jameson, Tylon, he has been absolutely fantastic. In his past 7 starts, 1.7 ERA, and they've won his past 6 starts that he started. They should have won every start, the last 7 starts, but the bullpen choked against the Houston Astros. Um, so he has been absolutely amazing. Last year, obviously, he was hurt for Pittsburgh. He had that injury in his, I think he had Tommy John, or he had something serious. The Yankees took a flyer on him. They traded for him. He started off his career as a Yankee shaky, but then he figured it out. He looks healthy. He looks comfortable. He looks confident. He has been absolutely amazing. The line is falling. It's minus 255 now. If this keeps going down, that's even better in my opinion, because then you could maybe do a parlay with this situation. But we are going to pick the Yankees. But how we pick them, that is going to be something we take note of.